Is good.
Okay. So let me just give you a quick outline. In a few seconds, I'm going to have you go through your resume. What I'm looking for is just a real quick 2 to 3 minute verbal resume. Help me get a feel for your personality. Then I'll go through and talk to you about Traeger, where we've been, where we're going, what we're looking for in our store managers, and where we're going as a company in general. Then we'll see. We'll maybe wrap it up with one or two sales questions, okay? Fairly informal, 25, 30 minutes tops, okay?
Sounds good, sir.
Okay. So, Robert, take it away. 2 to 3 minute verbal resume.
Born and raised in Central California, was in the United States Air Force for a number of years. Was a medic, got out, became a paramedic. Was a paramedic for a number of years. That's what brought me to Las Vegas. I worked out at Area 51, Nevada test site for a number of years. Slowly transitioned into medical sales, selling trauma implants, total hips, total knee, spinal implants. For lumbar, cervical fusions, stuff of that nature. Kind of got out of that a little bit, bought a startup, carpet cleaning franchise, for most of Las Vegas, built that up. Over about a 6-year period. During that time, I was able to become the master franchise owner for the state of Georgia for people that wanted to, obviously be in business for themselves. Kind of did both. Built up my Las Vegas franchise, sold it off as an investment, and then sidestepped kind of back into medical sales, and have done that since that time. Something that's not on my resume that I think helped me as far as in my sales ability in a one process closing or a quick close versus relationship closing is I have worked along. I think to help me with the carpet cleaning franchise and booking customers on the spot is also my resume that's not listed. Is I worked with Shelf Reliance doing Costco road shows, and normally they would hire me with my flexible schedule to come in on a Thursday and work like the final 4 days. So I worked shows in Vegas, St. George, Salt Lake City, for Shelf Reliance at the road shows for the food storage items they sell. I'm now back in the United States Air Force Reserves. I was self-employed for a couple years back, and for the insurance purposes for me and my kids and stuff, I got back in the Air Force Reserve. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Okay, very good. Thanks, I appreciate that. You were right on. Sometimes I say 2 to 3 minutes, and I have to interrupt 20 minutes later. So, thank you. I appreciate that. I got to tell you, Robert, you surprised me when you were going down your resume and talking about medical sales, franchising, owning your own business, and then you threw in there that Self-Reliance Roadshow Costco gig. That threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting you to say that. And, I'm going to go into this and lay it on real thick and heavy what this is all about, okay? And it's not for everybody. This type of sale is really tough. But you already have the inside track because you've done the Costco thing, the Self-Reliance thing. And our sales process, even though we're talking about a store manager position for Traeger, we use the same type of sales process that we use in the Costco's when we're doing road shows and special events, okay? And just right out of the gate, a lot of folks that come from a very professional type sales environment, the top exec type sales, B2B, medical sales, pharma sales, they just can't get their arms wrapped around this because it's just not quite glamorous enough for them. It's not sexy enough, okay? So I'm being very candid with you. That was one of my first, okay, is this going to be engaging enough for Robert, okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind a little bit because we're gonna touch on that a little bit more.
Great. I have some comments for you, sir.
Okay, good. So you tell me what interests you about Traeger.
For me, Mr. Anderson, it was it was very easy, I felt, to do the video. And, I've just been over at the Costco right down the street and bought another Traeger for a buddy in the reserves and bought some more bags of pellets from Jay, for myself. For me to do the video, very easy because now I own 2 Traegers, got my sister converted, bought one for a friend in North Dakota, bought one for my friend in the reserves. It was either I'm speaking from the heart. I think when you combine speaking from the heart along with the sales capabilities, whether it's relationship selling or being able to sell that person right on the spot, not let them leave without them feeling guilty, it was easy. I love Traeger. I'll never own another grill again. And when I've been in California, my sister's in Sacramento, and there's a road show there, and I was trying to get her to buy, and there was people coming up. I would step in with the salesman, and I'd say, hey, sir, I'll never buy another one again. And I would help the guy sell, and he would step back and goes, I love it when owners come into the booth because, now it's not a salesman, it's an owner. And, I'm pretty passionate about the Traeger. I'm anal about barbecuing, and so it's very easy. And glamorous, we touch on the glamorous part. I kind of pride myself, Mr. Anderson, on, having to speak to a CEO of a hospital all the way down to talking to a medical assistant, that's doing the referrals that maybe he's only getting paid $8-9 an hour. And so I think I like to pride myself on being able to speak to people, at different socioeconomic levels, I guess we could call it. I think it's important to know, I'm a numbers guy, from being in business for myself, and I've got company credit cards from employers, and I look at it from a business perspective on it's not my dollars, it's their dollars, and how would I spend it if this was really my money and not being wasteful. And I was talking to Jay, and I said, I'm sure you must have daily goals. A Tuesday goal has got to be different from a Saturday goal, of course, because of the traffic coming in. And I'm competitive in nature, played sports all my life, and you want to beat those things, and and stuff. So.
Okay, very good. So you keep saying Jay. Are you talking about Jay Lene?
Out of St. George, that's here at Costco in Summerlin right now.
Oh, no. Okay, we have a couple of Jays. Who are you talking about when you say I talked to Jay?
He's one of your Traeger reps. He's doing the Costco Summerlin Roadshow right now.
Okay, all right, very good. I'm not sure. I'll have to look in the schedule and see who it is. But so let's talk about. I'm going to talk about the Costco environment and then translate it to the Traeger store. And keep in mind, I know we're talking about the store manager position. Okay.
Correct.
So you already have a pretty good idea of what it takes inside of a Costco. Now, the Self-Reliance, the Vitamix, the Blendtex, all those type of road shows, when guys interview for Traeger, they think that kind of gives them a leg up. It's almost just the opposite because we're pretty unique in how we present things at Costco. So I'm going to lay it on real thick and heavy just to make sure you've got a really good idea of what our sales process is. And then we'll translate that to the Traeger stores. So again, just imagine walking into the Costco again, talking to whoever it is you're talking to at Costco. You've done this already a number of times. You just told me you tried to sell grills in that booth. But what our sales professionals do all day long is they stop people dead in their tracks. Okay, so this is cold calling at its finest. People that walk into a Costco that have no intentions of getting a grill that day, let alone a $1,000 grill. They're there just to get eggs or milk or do whatever. We're stopping them, bringing them into the booth and delivering a 2 to 3 minute word for word as written pitch, a script. That's what this is. Okay, and a lot of salespeople don't want anything to do with cold calling, and they don't want to be scripted. But that's what this is. This is the pitch industry. And I'll hear all the time from sales professionals, let me just go in there and do my thing. Let me sell off the cuff. I'll show your company. Let's go sell grills. And I like the swagger. I like the confidence. But what happens is they get in there and they sell 1 or 2 grills, but they don't sell the volume that even makes it worth keeping them around. And that's what this is all about. It's all about volume. Now, you already brought up the difference between a one-call close and a relationship type sell. You're right on. This is not a relationship type sell. It's not a consultative type sell. But even with that said, our folks in the Costco that are just destroying it and our store managers that are destroying it, what they get is that in a 2 to 3 minute pitch, they have a very short window to make this feel as real as possible. Even though they're scripted and even though they're saying the exact same thing 160, 200 times a day, they make it feel like they're talking to their best friend or to their cousin or whoever or their neighbor across the backyard fence. And frankly, that's really hard to do. A lot of guys can never get their arms around it. You hear the words pitchy or canned or car salesman, whatever the phrase is. The true professionals that are just destroying it out there, they make it feel real every single time. And that's tough to do. So 2 to 3 minute pitch. You've seen it. They walk around the grill. They demonstrate the benefits of the grill. They go from a standing position to a kneeling position all day long. So it's like doing calisthenics for 10 plus hours a day, physically challenging. And then you go right into that one called close, hardcore close. 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. The mentality is if you walk into my booth, you're not leaving without a grill. Now, we're very aggressive, but we're not jerks. In fact, we can't be. Whether it's in a Traeger store or in Costco, especially in Costco, because we're in Costco. We represent them. We can't be jerks at all. We have to be very professional, use wit and charm, and people that walk away with a $1,000 grill that have no intentions of buying one that day, they've got big old smiles on their faces as they're wheeling that grill up to the front. It's almost like a badge of honor. They're smiling as they But that's this, okay? So you probably already had a pretty good idea of all that, but I just wanted to lay it on there real thick and heavy because that's the same process that we're using in our Traeger stores. So you've already addressed why this would be a good fit for you, but let's just rehearse that. If you want to add a little bit more, why do you think this fits within your wheelhouse?
Well, again, if I were to translate the Traeger to, what I've done in medical sales and the types of implants that I've carried, I've kind of always carried, I think, excellent products. They weren't just cheap, volume type of products. They've been kind of cutting edge products. And being the age that I am, I've obviously owned charcoal propane grills, and I truly love the Traeger. I think it is a cutting edge product, with all the benefits it has to offer with the ease of use. It does make it very easy. I think with my background in one call closing, along with relationship that maybe might translate into, a mall situation or a store where maybe you might see the locals a little bit more versus a 10-day roadshow. I think my experience, I was talking to somebody about when I had my carpet cleaning franchise, we didn't have the internet back then and click pay or websites and all that. So people were calling me off of the phone book. And I basically had to get them to book the job right there on the phone in 30 seconds to a minute and explain our franchise and what set us apart from our competitors. And certainly I, could not be rude or mean or nasty and had to be very polite. But I wanted them to have a sense of guilt, so to speak, if they didn't book with me and then called some Joe Blow mom and pop carpet cleaner that was going to come and leave their carpets wet, and so I wanted to educate them right then and there that if they hung the phone up and didn't book with me, that I wanted something to stick in their mind. And so I think I can translate it into the Traeger, having that person there. Yeah, they're not coming there with the intention of buying, and so you want them to get right then and there.
Okay. Let's talk about Traeger stores. And to do that, I'm going to set the groundwork by talking to you about where we've been from a financial position. When we started the Costco roadshows 3 years ago, we were about a $25 million a year company. This last year, just under $75 million. That type of growth in 3 years, it's phenomenal. And that's where we're going. Even though Traeger's been around for 27 plus years out of Wilsonville, Oregon, it's been primarily a Northwest company. But now we're taking the country by storm. Okay? It's really exciting. So even though we're a 27 plus year old company, we're really just taking our first steps. We're at a tipping point. The grilling industry is a $2 to $3 billion industry. We'll be a $250 million company 3 years from now. We will be the grilling leaders. We'll take the industry over. Two, you already know the first one. The grill's phenomenal. People fall in love with it. As soon as they experience it, they have to have one. Every grill we sell, there's 3 to 5 more out the door. Because, as you know, you have your friends and family over, they experience the food, they see how easy it is, they have to have it. I've been with Traeger for a year. I bought mine right when I started. I have 7 brothers and sisters, 5 of them have the grill. Because they've had food off my grill. So that's the way it is for every home in America. People are falling in love with it. So sky's the limit for the company, and we're just starting. That's really exciting. We started our first Traeger store in October of 2012. We went into Denver, Colorado, then Salt Lake City. We've got a couple of stores in Denver now, a couple in Texas, a couple in California. At the end of March, we had 18 up and running. We'll have 40 by the end of 2013. That's just 2013 alone, excuse me. So fast, exciting, tipping point, it's all good. We're looking for the very best sales professionals to go and run these stores. Compensation is unheard of. It's a $96,000 draw against commission. It's an $8,000 draw each month. The commission is a 20% commission, uncapped. The stores are projected to do $750,000 to $1.2 their first year of operation. So that's without everybody in the community knowing about us. Okay, so you can imagine how that's going to snowball. So it's a pretty simple math, 20% of $1 million. It's great compensation, full benefits, medical, dental, 401k. And again, we're just starting. So all the stores are on track to meet those projections. Our store managers are all on track to do well over 150K. So it's exciting. It's a lot of fun. That compensation, it's unheard of what we're doing, but it's not for everybody. You know, we talked about the glamour part of, the pitching in a Costco. Well, now you're pitching in a mall, okay? Because that's where we're going with these. We're going into the premier mall locations across the country. We don't just guess. We do our homework. We do our due diligence. You're a numbers guy, so are we. We go into the malls that have the highest dollar per foot traffic, so that we know that there's going to be people there, people with money, okay? And we set up these kiosks. They look great. Trex decking, rock columns. The grills are all the way around. But our sales managers, Robert, they're rolling their sleeves up, and they're going out there just like we do in a Costco, and we're engaging everybody that's walking down the aisle. So somebody that's there to go buy shoes or go buy whatever, we're stopping them and bringing them in, pitching them, and then closing them, one call close, and they're walking away with $1,000 grill. So it's the same process because it works. You're just throwing retail hours onto this now, which is really tough. The malls are open from 10 to 9. Once we get you staffed with an assistant store manager and an hourly person, you'll be working 12 to 9 most days, because those are the prime retail hours. That's when people are there. Typically Sunday, Monday's off, or Monday, Tuesday's off. So hours, it's tough. So again, I want to, full disclosure, describe what the sales like, let you know what the retail situation is like, so that when you get in there and it's a good fit, you go in there fully prepared to know what this is all about. So you can be engaged professionally. Last thing I want to do is have somebody that has the skill set to do this, they can get in there and find out, for whatever reason, it's not engaging enough for them, or it's just not glamorous enough for them, or whatever reason, they just kind of get swallowed up in the fact that they're in a mall selling grills out of a kiosk. It's a real thing for some folks, and I respect it. I don't judge them for that. It's just the reality. So with that said, Robert, how do you feel about selling out of a mall in a kiosk? Is that going to be engaging for you?
I'm a people person, so love to talk to people, love obviously the people watch. So I think, certainly you kind of obviously have that in the mall, and to bring people in, I think, me being able to engage people very easily, I think I have that, that talent. to be able to do that. Certainly we need to be, and you guys have done the homework, we need to be where we're going to sell the most amount of grills with the most amount of traffic. So, I don't want to stand around all day, maybe doing 2 or 3 pitches a day. You want the people to be able to talk to them to make the sell and drive your numbers up. So, that's no problem at all.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about the process a little bit as far as the next step. I like what I hear. I like your energy. I like what you bring to the table. You've answered my concern about this being glamorous enough for you. Okay, so I'm going to spell out our hiring process. I know it's unorthodox. You had to make the video. Now we're doing an ooVoo. Well, there's a couple more steps. Okay, so the next step would be this. We get you the pitch, and you do a pre-audition for us. Okay, and in fact, I'm looking at my calendar May 1st, so just under a week from today. We'd get together back on ooVoo. It's not an interview situation. It's pretty much a 5-minute, Robert, take it away, deliver the pitch for me, word for word as written. We record that. We get together as a team, we review it. If we like what we see, we fly into Utah the next Monday. You're here Tuesday through Friday in our training facility, mastering the pitch, mastering the closes. On Friday, you sell the grill to one of our top executives or to one of our sales professionals. Okay? It's a fun week. It's a really fun week. We feed you off the Traeger all week, so you get really good food. Okay? It's not paid because it's still an audition. Excuse me. But like I said, at the end of that 5 week or on that Friday, you sell the grill. We record it. We review it as a team. If we like what we see, then we put you into a Costco for a 10-day training. Now that is paid. It's not a ton of money, $150 a day. At the end of the 10-day training experience, the trainer will give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If it's a thumbs up, then you're on the team and you're on your way to getting your Traeger store. Now, I'll go into more detail about the process of getting a store after that point, but up to that point, is that a process that you want to pursue?
Yeah, I think in the email that Allison sent me, I think it mirrored what you just talked about. So yeah, that's fine. Okay.
So I'll shoot you out an email. In fact, I'm going to shoot it out to you as soon as we're done. When you get that email, just respond to it accordingly so I can get you scheduled for May 1st. All the details are in the email. There's also going to be some documents attached to it. Make sure you get those back as part of our hiring process. There's no employment guarantees. It's just paperwork so that we're ready to move forward if it's a good fit. You'll get a second email from the director of our corporate training. His name is Jay Linnae. His email will have the pitch in it. That should come through this afternoon or later tonight. Okay? So like I said, just get that pitch, open it up, memorize it, word for word as written. Don't add any one-liners. And I'll be clear with you, because you're a Traeger owner, it doesn't guarantee anything. In fact, what we found is a lot of Traeger owners, they stumble because they try to ad lib too much. Okay, don't have time for that once you've got the basics down. Okay, so word for word as written. Don't add any one-liners. I guess that's the advice I'd give you. So watch for that email, and then let's swing around now and talk about the Traeger store manager position and what it's like as far as getting the keys to your own store once you make it through this audition phase and the training phase. Okay. First of all, it's about a 60 to 90 day process once somebody's made it through Utah to get their stores or get their store. We just don't hand over the keys to $1 million store and say, here you go, figure it out. Couple of reasons. It's $1 million store. And number two, we want to make sure you have all the tools and resources necessary to go out there and earn the money that you're looking for. So what will happen is once you make it through that training experience, we'll put you into a Costco rotation, a 10 days on, 10 days off rotation, so that you can really master selling the grill, handling the volume that's associated with it. We'll also put you into existing Traeger stores. so that you can learn the nuances of those stores. So there's a little mixture of both. That 60 to 90 days is a guideline for a couple reasons. The development of the salesperson and the coming online of the stores that they're interested in. So, for example, you may want to stay in Vegas, but frankly, let me just bring this up. Relocation is almost a given, okay? So, are you willing and able to relocate if this is the right fit?
I'll be honest, sir, probably not, sir. I'm a single parent. I have 50% custody with my ex. So, doing the 10-day, 10 on, 10 off, not a big deal. There's, the wife would just, take the kids on my days or, whatever. So that's not an issue, or the hours not an issue. But I've been here for 20 years in Las Vegas, know the city well and know a lot of people and stuff. So, I was unimpressed from Allison that you were opening up a second location here in Las Vegas, and that's what I was interviewing for.
Okay. Yeah, that's not exactly correct. So I don't know. With that said, will we open another location in Vegas? Yeah, most likely. Will it be in the next 6 months to a year? I don't know. Okay. But I can tell you this. If you're interested in the 10 days on, 10 day off schedule, that's a great way to go. Right. Our top performers make 100 plus K a year. No, that's not true. Most folks make 100. Let me rephrase that. 100 plus K a year is extremely doable. Our top performers are like 150 to 190. Okay, doing that 10 day on, 10 day off schedule. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
That's something that certainly might be doable, sure.
Okay. Well, the other reason I bring that up is because with stores coming online, whether it's in Vegas at a second store or, who knows where the location may be, we are evolving at such a quick pace that there's always opportunities coming up. Now, we have a great guy in Vegas right now running that store. Things could change.
Right.
Or we can open up a second store, which we probably will. But the reality is a lot of our sales folks will come in, they'll be doing the Costco thing, and they'll see an opportunity that they want to jump at, and then they'll go do a store someplace else.
Right.
But frankly, if you're not in a position where you're able to relocate at this point, just candidly, the best fit then would be to do the outside sales rep position where we do the 10 days on, 10 days off. So you just tell me if that, what I've seen, I would definitely want to see if this is a good fit. But I need to know that that's a good fit for you.
Sure. I think, the 10, I probably want to wrap my, head and arms around a little bit and just, kind of think about that. I think that, might work. Certainly, in talking to Jay and talking about the dollars and some of the commission structure, I didn't want to be, too nosy, so to speak, and ask too many of the financial questions and for him to kind of divulge in that maybe what he's making. But, I just asked some basic questions. So, me probably thinking about what the percentages are and the commission, because he said it was a tiered type of commission structure, and he spoke a little bit, wasn't really upfront about what Costco takes, which is fine because I'm not an employee. But if I kind of wrap my arms around that a little bit more and think about the dollars and what I need to do to make X and Y, then I think that would be helpful too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm competitive and numbers guy, so
yeah, let me give you some of that information. I can tell you're a numbers guy, and I'm okay talking with you about those things. So, first of all, for the outside sales reps, we cover everything as far as your travel. We'll fly you anywhere across the country to do these Costco's or road shows, special events, things like that. Well, let's just talk about Costco's for right now. The road shows, like for home and garden shows, rodeos, fairs, those are more elite events, and our top sales performers go to those. So, no doubt that you go in and prove yourself, you can do those. But let's just talk about Costco's right now. We cover everything. We fly you in, cover your hotel, your rental car. You just go in and sell grills for 10 plus days. Okay? It's really nice. You don't have to manage the inventory. You don't have to do a ton of paperwork. Wilsonville gets all the inventory there for you. You just sell grills. It's great. The commission structure is tiered. It ranges from 14% to 22%. Okay? Based on the volume of the show. Okay? The guys that are hitting the 150 plus K mark, they're selling, their shows are probably 45,000 plus on average. I mean, you can do the math on those type of things. I'll give you an idea. One of our top sales professionals, she did a $96,000 show in 10 days at a 20-something% commission. It's an $18,000 paycheck, 10 days.
Right.
Now that show doesn't happen every day, okay? There's guys out there that are doing $15,000 to $20,000 shows, but frankly, those guys don't stick around, okay? For two reasons. One, they're not making enough money, and two, we're not making enough money, okay?
Right.
So if you're making less than $100,000, you're probably not going to stick around doing this thing. But with your skill set and following our process, there's no reason why you shouldn't be making 100 plus K a year. Okay, our guys easily, that 130 plus, 150 to 190. So I know that's pretty general, but those are the numbers.
And I assume that your commission is based off of the net after Costco takes whatever percentage you have negotiated with them, I assume.
Yeah, and and we can go into more details with that if down the road. It's not, we call them Traeger dollars versus Costco dollars.
Okay.
And that's what your numbers are based on, is Traeger dollars. But the reality is you still go in there and destroy it. You're still making those type of paychecks.
Right. Sure. Okay.
To be candid with you, Robert, not most shows, the guys that are making those type of paychecks are doing shows that are $35,000 to $45,000, $50,000 shows. Okay. When you're doing those type of shows, which are completely doable, you're making that type of six-figure income.
Is there, one issue that happened, a couple of times with Shelf Reliance was product and not getting product, running out of product, and then, then you're kind of left with not your full bag, but maybe half of the bag and stuff. Is shipping and, these units and stuff like that, I would assume to Costco, overnight or are you guys forecast a couple days out, I'm assuming, to make sure that we're well stocked, obviously.
Wilsonville does a tremendous job. I cut my teeth selling in the Costco's. Excuse me. And I've only had one show where I sold out, and they weren't able to get me inventory in time. And it was because I was fairly new and I didn't understand how to do the reordering process, or they would have gotten me the grill. Okay?
Right.
And even with that said, we can ship it and we cover all the shipping expenses, and you still get full commission on those sales. So, and the nice thing is you have all the other girls standing around you, so it's really easy to still sell the grills.
Right. The per diem per day when you're on the road?
Yeah.
Is there?
There is. Yeah. Yeah, there's a per diem per day for your food expense. I think it's $30 a day. I'm not positive. I think it's $30 a day. So, yeah, there's a per diem to cover your expenses after the fact. And then it's really straightforward. I mean, it's 100% commission. No benefits. I want to be full disclosure on that. That's one of the differences between having a Traeger store and being out there on the road. But when you're making $150K a year, it's okay. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't need that. I mean, I have the medical and dental through the military, the reserve, so I wouldn't need that. I guess that benefit, so to speak, anyway. I guess, obviously from an investing standpoint, the 401k certainly would be of interest. If not, then continue to do my own investing. But so yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, get your arms around that. Do you want a day or two to think about that, or do you want to take that next step and go ahead and get the pitch sent out to you?
No, I think we should go on the next step. I don't think we should delay anything.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot you out that email. Watch for that. Respond to it accordingly, and get the pitch down. And then I will see you on May 1st.
Okay, great.
All right. Look forward to it, Robert. Thanks.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. Talk to you soon.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.